Hi there, Sagittarius. How are you this morning? My name is Sherilyn, and I'm here to do your weekly reading. This one is going to be for July 7th through the 10th, which should be Monday through Thursday. I will be back on Wednesday with bonus readings to try to get you through the weekend. That's the whole deal there. We're just going to pull cards and see what Spirit wants to talk about. That's how we're doing this. Okay, let's see. This one's for my Sagittariuses. Okay. All right, y'all. Let's see what we get. This table, if we could just move that just barely. Maybe that's going to work better. Let's see. Okay, here we go. We're starting this one off with the Knight of Pentacles. Okay, followed by the Two of Pentacles. And then I've got the Emperor. So this is your backstory or your recent past going into this reading. Currently, I have you with the Knight of Cups, the Seven of Pentacles, and the Knight of Wands. In the near future, I have you with the Devil card, the Nine of Cups, and the Six of Swords. Okay, bottom of the deck for this reading is actually the Wheel of Fortune. So the undercurrent to this entire reading has to do with the fact that the wheel is spinning in your favor. This is part of a bigger plan. There's something more at play here than whatever you're dealing with right this minute, you know. So even if it doesn't feel like it, because I know sometimes it doesn't, it truly is happening for you, not to you, okay, is what they're trying to say. The card at the center of your reading is the Seven of Pentacles. This would speak of you trying to make up your mind about how much you want to still invest in something or how much you want to invest in something new. It's all about you deciding how much of your time and energy you are willing to put into something or how much you want to, okay? All right, so that is that. Let's start with the recent past or your backstory. I have Knight of Pentacles, Two of Pentacles, and the Emperor. Okay, so here in the recent past, there was, for one thing, there was a total lack of balance, okay? Period, okay? And the lack of balance looks to me from these cards as though it was leaning in your favor, meaning that you were the one who was coming out on top. You were the one who was having to put less energy into something to get more out of it, is what it's looking like. Whatever the deal was, there was no balance, okay? There was no reciprocity in the situation. With the Knight of Pentacles, there was also no forward motion. Because of the lack of reciprocity or whatever, it just became something that was stagnant. So nothing was growing here, you know? If it was a relationship, it wasn't getting any more intense or growing in the way you wanted it to. A friendship, same thing. Work, you know, you're just stuck in one spot, couldn't go anywhere. That's how this feels. So it wasn't necessarily that things were altogether bad, because I feel like you were on the upside of the lack of reciprocity, meaning you were getting more than you were giving, but it doesn't matter because nothing was moving forward or growing. So that was that, okay? It's not that bad, but still that's what happened. So this is your recent past. We can't change it even if we want to, but this is what happened, it's looking like. So now we go into the current. So currently, where are we at? Knight of Cups, Seven of Pentacles, and Knight of Wands. Okay, the Knights are facing in separate directions. This makes me feel as though it's almost like the Two of Wands. You're standing at some sort of crossroads, and there's two different directions you can go, right? With the Seven of Pentacles, it's up to you to decide what it is you want to invest in, and then how much are you going to invest. You can't invest in both, okay? One is the Knight of Cups, one is the Knight of Wands. So one is all about emotion, coming in to save the day, you know, all that kind of stuff. The Knight in Shining Armor. The other one is all about impulsive. So it could be, if we break it down in signs, one could be a water sign. That would be the Knight of Cups. And one, you know, so Cancer, Pisces, Scorpio. The other one is a fire sign. So we're talking Aries, Sagittarius, or Leo, right? But they're very opposite, period. They feel to me like two different people. I could see where it could possibly be like choosing between two different jobs, maybe. Maybe one is much more emotionally fulfilling. The other one is, you know, a different kind of fulfillment. I don't know. But this really feels to me like it's two different people. And you need to make a decision on what is it you want in your life? Do you want this passion and inspiration? Or are you looking for emotion and, you know, stability? Like that. So it's you having to come up with this. You have to make a decision. That's what it is. And that's where you're at currently, is trying to make the decision. Okay? Where are we going in the near future? In the near future, I have the Devil, the Nine of Cups, and the Six of Swords. So if we break it down in a different direction, the Knight of Cups is going into the Devil. So whoever this one is with the emotional fulfillment, or with what seems to be the ability to bring you emotional fulfillment, it looks like that side is going with the devil. So there's some sort of an obsession or an addiction that's attached to that energy, okay? On the other side, I have the Knight of Wands. That one is all fire, passion, inspiration, right? But the one attached to that is the Six of Swords. So it looks like that is the one that can possibly carry you off into calmer waters, because it feels as though right now you're living with a sense of chaos and uncertainty, okay? Right down through the middle, we've got the Two of Pentacles, which is the chaos and uncertainty. That leads into the Seven of Pentacles, where you have to make a decision. And at the bottom, it's all about you deciding what is your wish fulfillment. Okay? I hope all that made sense. So it looks like right now you are in quite the quandary. You have to pick between two different paths, which looks to me like it involves two different people. Okay? And you have to pick which one you want. I can tell you that the Knight of Cups is somehow attached to the devil. So, I mean, and then by proxy, you shall be attached to the devil too, if that's the road you pick. And the other one looks like it is attached to trying to get you to calmer waters. That's what I've got so far. Okay? All right. Behind the Wheel of Fortune, I have the Chariot and the Page of Wands. So with the Chariot, it's possible you could be dealing with a Cancer with the Chariot. With the devil, it could be a Scorpio. Anybody else I got out here? The Emperor could be an Aries, okay? That's what I see so far. With the Chariot here, it looks as though you are, the Wheel of Fortune is spinning, and it's time for you to have forward motion is what we're saying, what it's saying here. It's time for you to get going. You've been stuck in one spot for too long trying to figure this out. With the Page of Wands here, I feel like there is definitely some sort of a... This feels to me like it's some sort of an unrealistic expectation that you have on how this is going to play out. I feel like you are viewing things for their potential and not for the reality of the situation, if that makes sense. You need to get a little more realistic on what you're seeing or doing here. Seven of Swords, Eight of Cups, and the Two of Cups. There's a divine union here that you've already walked away from once, it looks like. And you did that out of a lack of trust, not out of a lack of emotion. You still had plenty of emotion for the person involved, okay? But you walked away because there was no trust. You didn't trust them or the situation. And so that is, I feel intuitively that is this Knight of Cups over here. But at any rate, that is just what I feel. Okay, let me get the days of the week done. We'll see if there's more time. Monday, I've got the Four of Swords and the Ten of Cups. So something has happened as far as the road to your Ten of Cups that's caused you to need to take a minute to try to, heal and try to rest, because it's been very arduous for you. The path to this Ten of Cups has been very tough. Okay, Tuesday, I have the Fool and the Six of Wands. So you're trying to take this leap of faith towards whatever it is you decide that you want to do. You have a lot of people that seem to have some sort of input into making that decision. They want you to help you make that decision. Everybody has an opinion on what you should do. You need to go someplace quiet and sit down with yourself for a minute and just figure it out, okay? Because nobody's living your life but you. Okay, Wednesday, I have the Strength card and the Five of Swords. Looks like something could come at you on Wednesday as far as an argument or a conflict, right? You have the strength to be able to defuse it and put it down, put it to rest, but you're going to have to focus on that strength. And then on Thursday, I have the Three of Cups and the Hermit. This is all about you trying to pull your energy back out of a situation to reassess it again. For some of you, there's a third party involved in one part of this situation. I'm sure it's the Knight of Cups, or that's how it seems. And you're trying to pull your energy back to reassess the situation to see if you think it's really true or not. Believe me, it's true, it looks like, okay? But at any rate, this looks like it is just a lot of decisions that need to be made. And then you have to stand on the decision that you make. So it is a tough place to be in. It's very tough sometimes to make life-altering decisions, and that's what you're looking at right here. But it is necessary, and it's part of the growing process. So it's something you have to kind of do, right? All right, let's see. We'll get three more and get out of it. I've got the King of Pentacles, the Queen of Pentacles, and the Three of Swords. So there is absolutely a divine union here, or there was at one time. In the past, there was. It fell apart due to the Three of Swords, the heartbreak. But I don't know that it fell apart forever, meaning that I think there's a possibility it could be brought back together here in the future, okay? That is how I see this. All right, that is what I've got right this minute, you guys. There you go. No matter what the cards say, go out and make it the best week you possibly can. You definitely need to sit alone and figure this out, though, okay? It's your life. You got to live it. You got to make the choices. All right. Thank you. See you guys on Wednesday with bonus readings, or I'm here every day with the daily